I'm Michael.
Hey, what's going on? This is the Poly Music Experience. My name's Ben, and we're covering System of a Down. Welcome.
Today, we're working our way through Mezmerize, and we're hitting on violent pornography today.
I was dreading this episode from the very moment we started the System of a Down podcast. I realized there would be an episode of our podcast with that as the title. So that is strange. I never thought we would have quite this topic of discussion on the Poly Music Experience, but we'll figure out. We'll see what they're really talking about here, maybe.
Yeah, it's basically television and media, culture in general, sex and its involvement, and violence. So there you go. That's it.
Are they pro-violence? Are they anti-violence?
We're going to go anti.
Who are they mad at? I know what they're trying to say.
I know. Brainwashing is mentioned. Can you say brainwashing on the outro? Mentioned by both Darren and Serge, and the brainwashing in a negative aspect. Very rarely is it mentioned in a positive aspect in their lyrics here.
Okay, so you don't actually see that stuff on television. You see it on the internet. But their point, right, is that the news and all the stuff, you see bombings and killings and blah, 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 and that's even worse than the stuff that a deranged person might dial up on their internet machine.
Well, I think that it's also can be too much sexualized stuff on TV. But that can be argued. European culture is nudity is a regular thing. But I think it's the violence part that we're emphasizing here.
Or how people get upset about sex and culture, but then it's like everywhere.
Violence
or how they get upset about but then it's like glorified on the news. There's the idea of like, there's this stuff we try to keep away, but then it's like, oh, you turn on the news and it's awful, and that's real life.
Yep. There's also a piece on here on Nabisco, as in like the cookie maker.
Okay.
It's a nonstop disco. Bet you it's Nabisco. Bet you didn't know. Whoa. Nonstop disco. Bet you it's Nabisco. Didn't you know?
I read that the bet you didn't know was them saying that we didn't know that they liked disco music, and that Darren was secretly like a huge like Saturday Night Fever, Bee Gees, whatever disco fan, and they're saying bet you didn't know we were disco fans. But you know what? We did, because there's that Psycho song and there's a couple other references to disco music already. So the fact that it's a nonstop disco for Darren, maybe I didn't know that. But if you would have asked me, I might have been able to. It's not like new information, you know what I mean? And that's what I did read about that, is they thought it was funny. They're like, people think we're like a metal band, but we listen to disco, and that's all that it meant in there, and that's what they're really talking about. Kind of funny, but I can see the disco influence. I mean, that two-step drum shuffly, they do that in a few songs. Definitely a disco influence.
Very, very prevalent in this track.
I like the brainwashing. That part's awesome.
Yeah. This is a track I just remember seeing listed when I was a kid, and I was like, man, I shouldn't say as a kid. We were high school. But I was just like, man, I hope no one sees this on my iPod or anything.
Be like, no, it's like a protest. It's like they think we should take it off of the TV.
Yeah.
It's like they just are like, look, we're not even that bad compared to TV. That's what you should have said. Turn on the TV, Mom. See how bad it is. And this is not as bad as that.
Yeah.
Or is it? Or now did it lead you down to the path of... Did you watch less or more porn after this? Or more TV, I mean.
Or both. I don't know that it influenced any of that. I just didn't want anyone to see violent pornography listed.
You were into that. Like,
I just didn't think anyone needed to see that on my listed
discussion.
Because I had the video iPod at the time, if you remember.
Radio/video.
Yeah. Because
cocaine makes me feel like I'm on this song.
Yeah, I didn't need that on there either. But violent pornography in particular, on something that could play video as well. I didn't need anyone at like school getting their hands on that, any teacher or anything like that, being like, well, how is this just a song? Like, what are you doing with this?
So did you censor them? Did you actively change? Did you change the title to like...
I think I did change some titles. Wow. I was just like, I don't need the grief of anyone looking at this and being like, what is this?
There you go. They got System of a Down getting censored to this day. They're too extreme for the mainstream. They're too extreme for the iPods.
I was censoring.
I mean, right? I mean, it's like putting Steal This Album on the shelf backwards so that people don't see it, because it tells you, it commands you what to do with it.
Yeah, it's like you putting your books on the shelf backwards so
I
no
know.
one
I'm
steals
censoring that
it.
book. Now that information is hidden forever. And now it's like burning a book every time you change the MP3 title to something that's not those words.
Well, spin the song, we'll grade it, and then maybe we'll tackle some interesting nostalgia corner here for a lighter topic. Some of you out there enjoy singing this out in public.
Quite the sing-along there. Yeah, that's...
So I do not like the chorus. Is the chorus part?
Yeah.
The verse.
The everybody living now.
Yeah, I don't like that part. It's a little taunting. Could have did something different, despite the lyrical content, which is weird and uncomfortable and kind of nonsense. We're not telling a story. We're just throwing out graphic, violent imagery, which is typical of System of a Down in that vein. I wish they'd done something vocally there.
I'm looking at the YouTube comments. It says I'm 13. I'm not sure if I should be listening to this. So, you know.
Well, I kind of like the verses a little bit, and I do like the brainwashing part. I guess that falls on the, what is it listed here? The pre-chorus, the outro. I do like that piece at the end too. So I like some of the vocal elements outside of the actual verse chorus. Everybody living now.
Everybody.
Yeah. That part I wish something was done different vocally, and I wish we had more, not structure, but something more to the actual lyrical content, and they could have kept the same subject matter. I don't completely hate it.
So what's that worth? On a grand scale of grading.
On the grand scale of this, I gave it an A for ass. No.
Whoa.
I gave it a C.
Okay.
I gave it a C.
I gave it a D+.
You gave it a D+, huh?
Don't mess with this.
Yeah. Well,
it's too annoying. It's, even though they're joking, even though it's whatever, no matter how you interpret it, whether you know, it's not comfortable or fun, even, you know, whether you interpret it as, you know, they're making fun of TV or they're reveling in it or no matter how you do it, it's
well, so what playlist are you putting this in? What subject matter does this, if you're choosing to play this with a couple other songs, what is this fitting in with? What are you...
Some weird,
you know,
S&M Frank Zappa song.
Yeah.
I know, something where they're totally tongue-in-cheek, like nonsense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there are redeemable portions of it. It's not a complete wash. Otherwise, I could have dropped it down to your level. I'm actually surprised you added the plus on there, D+, like it's almost sufferable.
It's better than radio video. That's why I couldn't give them both a D. We just did radio video, and that's worse.
Okay, so D+ for you on violent pornography, and a C.
Don't
C
need it.
for me.
It's ruining America. That's a whole different podcast, but we don't need it, man. The porn is brainwashing you. The real porn, the TV, all of it. It's all brainwashing you. They are right about that. And however they got that message across, maybe this is what gets that message to people. How, you know, if they're addicted to that kind of thing, or if they can't have a good time without extraneous aids such as these, or without going down those rabbit holes. I mean, it is what it is, but
I thought you meant AIDS for a second, but that's from my mind.
That's a different side effect of, I mean, it's
System of a Down was on it in 2005.
It's bad for you. Stop it. Get some help. Get outside. Stop watching screens. Stop having sex with screens. Just stop having sex. There's no point. And if this song is what gets that message to you, maybe it is. Maybe it'll show you, maybe the freakish metalness of System of a Down can deliver a spiritually clean message to people about just, hey, it's the kind of stuff you get on your TV. That's the kind of, it's brainwash. It is brainwashing. It's absolutely brainwashing. I think it's funny. Here's what I think of. I would not put it on a playlist, but the original pilot episode for the original Muppet Show is called Sex and Violence. And they have a pageant of the 7 deadly sins. And the 7 deadly sins are 7 little Muppet characters that destroy everything. But it starts with, it's like the words on like the Hollywood sign, but it says sex and violence. And they blow it up. Like, because every sketch in the Muppet Show either ends with someone getting eaten or something exploding. So they blow it up. Like, this is the end of mindless sex and violence on television. And then it was like an unaired pilot, but it's on like the DVDs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so tongue-in-cheek and so funny how they're like, we're going to put something good on TV that has, like, it's all crazy and zany. Like, there's people blowing up and people getting eaten. It's not the most wholesome, certainly not wholesome, but it's more entertaining. It's not brainwashing, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the end of sex and violence on television. Anything else, even if it's nonsense, even if it's, you know, this cartoon frogs and puppets and all this stuff, the screen, use the screen for something else. Stop with the brainwashing. Do something creative. Do something creative with the screen. Don't do something destructive. Don't do something brainwashing.
Well, speaking of screens and media, in the back end of 2005 here, YouTube launched the same year that Mezmerize and Hypnotize did.
That's cool.
Worth noting. Reddit also launched in 2005.
Oh, there you go.
Although in my mind, it didn't really come onto the scene until much later.
It's hard, yeah, because by the time it becomes commonplace to use it, you know, it's hard.
But yeah, YouTube certainly popped off. Certainly where we check our music videos now. Of course, we talked about Yahoo. I was going to say YouTube. I was thinking YouTube now.
No, that's
Yahoo. Yeah. And even MySpace, we watched some music videos. At least I did earlier on, especially some of the early System of a Down stuff. And now it seems like, at least for me, YouTube is the default to go look for everything. Of course, I don't know how many hundreds of billions of hours streamed at this point on YouTube, but launched in 2005, which is weird to think about. We were in high school and there was no YouTube.
Yeah, I remember someone showing it to me because, like you said, there were sites. This is the thing is, like, there were video sites, but they were like Flash videos. They were like bad animation. It was all animation, all like generated stuff. YouTube is like video of people on webcams, and that was brand new.
Right.
Like, that was a totally
like amateur videos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyone, just whoever wanted to sit down and click. Here we go. Here's a video.
Yep.
That was brand new. I remember someone showing it to me, and I was like, "Why do we need this? Like, we already have like albino black sheep, and we already have like Newgrounds and stuff." I was like, "We have videos." Online, why do we need that? And it was like, no, this is like the Google of videos. This is like the way to find any video. This is, and I didn't get it at first. I was like, but there's already Google and there's already videos,
right?
So why do I need YouTube? But I get it now. I love YouTube. I think it's the best technology. I mean, putting that self-expression into people's hands and just getting that many different viewpoints on any topic, anything that happens is brilliant.
Research and first exposure to whether it's music or
you can take college classes on YouTube.
So just profound impact there. And it's actually kind of crazy that nothing's quite been replicated the same way and outpaced it.
Yeah.
It's been YouTube and it's always been YouTube.
There are a few other streaming, like whatever, but not like that. Not like YouTube.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's a cool place. I know they've had problems here and there with, you know, what is allowed and what's not allowed, and some people thinking it's fair or not fair, but I always hear about that stuff on YouTube. I mean, how many voices are really they're still getting out. However, you know, people say, "Oh, I got censored by YouTube," but I hear them saying that.
Yeah, well, that'll be a thing on all platforms for all creators and all different things. And it'll be a bigger issue going forward as we have different platforms and everybody's sharing. So, but yeah, YouTube, one of the foundational pieces, even as different social platforms move away and come to fruition and new things appear. It's been a steady piece.
It's what Andy Warhol predicted when he was alive. He said, you know, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. And it's possible. It's even better than that. There's another science fiction where it's like that, where it's like anyone can monetize their talents. I can't remember what this is, but they're basically predicting YouTube, where it's like, if you're talented, you can put yourself in front of a camera and monetize it somehow and start pulling down. Like, when I realized that YouTube paid people, that's mind-blowing. I mean, that's the future right there.
Right.
You don't need a television studio. You don't need anything. You just need to be able to garner a certain amount of views.
I think there's a super old YouTube video of you and my brother.
Oh, sure.
Playing something because he was a violinist.
It was not this song.
No, not this song. I think there's an old video from like pre-2010.
Oh, yeah.
Of you guys playing, floating out there.
It's a video of us playing Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. That was Yeah, that was very early. That might have been in like the first year or two of YouTube. We were already trying to do covers, which became a staple. I remember uploading a few different weird things. Nothing ever became like viral or took off but it's there. It's all out there. It'll still be viral. There's still time.
Still time. Any
Especially,
point.
get that, dude. Songs from 20 years ago are hits on TikTok. Nobody knows anymore. It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
It's all memes, and none of that stuff even makes any sense. They do these TikTok trends. It's like it doesn't even relate to the record. Like it's like, oh, this is the record where you make this face and do this, and it's like, but what are we doing?
Oh,
maybe that's what System of a Down was talking about with this song.
Well, maybe this song will get a TikTok.
I promise you, it's out there.
It'll be unrelated to the content.
I don't want to Google that. You can't even Google this song. That's what they should have called this album. Google these titles. Yeah. Instead of steal this album, it should be Google these titles. And then you have songs called like This Cocaine, Cigarro, My Dick Can Walk Right Through the Door, I Hope Your Stepson Doesn't Eat the Fish.
It's like Kendrick Lamar's untitled album.
Steal this album. Don't Google this album. You will regret Googling this album.
Kendrick Lamar has the untitled album, and it's just untitled track 1, untitled track 2, untitled track 3. It's like, what's your favorite? Untitled track 5.
Masterpiece number 4, of course. It's not about the title. It's about the song. It's about the sound.
Right. And that's what we are about here.
Oh, we're all about the sound. We're all about the song. We're going to do some good songs. Yeah, well, kind of. We're doing question. Question. I got a question. Are you ready for question? Coming up next with an exclamation point.
Yeah, for excitement.
We'll see you then. This is Poly Muse, the experience, the lifestyle. My name is Ben.
My name is Michael, and we'll be a little bit less violent next time.
Yeah, we need to calm down. You can't quit. Can't keep. You gotta be. You're straight up abusive in this studio right now. You better be.
Let's calm it down a bit.
Take a domestic violence class or something.
Take a breather.
Yeah, or a breather.
Okay.
We'll catch you soon.
All right.